Welcome to a very special edition of Let Me Pull Your Coat, the unfiltered world of Master Silk. Now, usually you hear China and me together, but this week she's away handling business for us overseas. She's lining up a few new ventures we're about to launch together in the near future. So I'm holding down the mic solo, and since this is a special drop, I'm going deeper than usual. This ain't just a regular ride with Silk. This is the full breakdown. We're covering cheating, abuse, parenting, money hustles, and how to survive narcissists. If you're new here, welcome to the raw, uncut truth. And for my day ones, you already know, grab your glass, light your smoke, and settle in, because this one's going to be fire. Before we get started, head to letmepullyourcoat.com. That's where you'll find the blogs, the shop, the reviews, the videos, and most importantly, the voicemail line where these questions come from. Support the movement. Cop a hoodie, a cap, or a tour jacket. Post your pics on the Your Post page so we can shout you out worldwide. And don't forget to follow us on IG, FB, Fanbase, Substack, Quora, Blue Sky, TikTok, and YouTube. Question from Elena in Vienna, Austria. Does a cheating wife deserve a second chance? Let me pull your coat. Cheating is never an accident. It's not a slip on the ice. It's deliberate, it's text, lies, lipstick wiped off before she walks through the door. That's betrayal with planning. Now, a lot of people say everybody deserves a second chance, but that's a myth. Second chances aren't automatic. They're earned, and most cheaters don't do the work to earn them. If she's on her knees, figuratively speaking, owning up, cutting ties with that man or woman, showing remorse, giving you full access and transparency, you might consider rebuilding. But if she's slick-talking, minimizing, or blaming you, that's when you hand her her hat and the coat and tell her to agitate the gravel. Because staying in a relationship with a cheater who won't change is slow self-destruction. Question from LaToya in Houston, Texas. My boyfriend, who's a married man, doesn't feel comfortable asking his wife for money, but always asks me since he's not working. What does this mean? It means you're not his girlfriend, you're his sponsor. He doesn't ask his wife because she'd hold him accountable. She'd say, why are you not working? Why are you sitting around? What do you need it for? He knows she'll check him, so he comes to you because you let it slide. That's not romance, that's manipulation. If you're financing a married man who refuses to stand on his own, you're not building love. You're funding his laziness. You're bankrolling somebody else's husband. And at the end of it, all you'll have is overdraft fees and a broken heart. Love should elevate you, not drain you. Cut him off before you end up broke in both pockets and spirit. Question from Sophia in Milan, Italy. My boyfriend of 2 years lashes out at me and treats me harshly. What should I do? Love is supposed to lift you, not break you down. If you're 2 years in and he's harsh, lashing out, and leaving you in tears, that ain't love. It's control dressed up as affection. Every time you excuse it, you teach him it's acceptable. And men test boundaries. If he knows he can get away with verbal abuse, next, it's slamming doors, breaking things, and maybe worse. You can't love a man into respect. Staying will only make you smaller, quieter, and weaker over time. The Silk truth? If he can't handle his temper, you don't stay away to be his regret story. Walk away with your head high and let him sit in the silence of losing a good woman. Question from Priya in Kolkata, India. My 13-year-old bullies her friend for wearing secondhand clothes. How do I stop it? Bullying ain't kids being kids. It's cruelty, and it grows like weeds if you don't rip it up early. Your daughter clowning another child for thrift store clothes isn't about fashion, it's about ego. She feels bigger by making someone else feel small. If you don't correct that now, tomorrow she'll be disrespecting coworkers, partners, maybe even you. Sit her down and make it clear bullying is zero tolerance. And don't just lecture her, teach her. Take her shopping at a thrift store. Let her pick out an outfit and wear it. Show her humility by experience. Because here's the truth. Clothes fade, but character lasts. The humble child today becomes a compassionate adult tomorrow. Question from Michael in Toronto, Canada. What's a simple financial rule you wish you learned earlier? Pay yourself first. That means before you pay Visa, the rent, or grab those sneakers, you take a piece of that check and stash it away. Even if it's 10%, even if it's $20, you put it aside. Because if you spend 100% of what you make, you're broke. If you save and invest even a little, you're building. When I was young, I spent every dollar showing off. Cars, clothes, drinks. I thought money was for flexing. Then I sat in boardrooms with men wearing jeans and old sneakers who had investment accounts fatter than any hustler I'd ever known. That's when I learned the real flex is freedom, not fashion. Question from Nadine in Accra, Ghana. How could I recognize a narcissistic rage attack and what do I do? Narcissistic rage ain't regular anger. It's ego in meltdown. You'll notice it because the reaction never matches the situation. You point out something small, like forgetting the milk, and they explode like you betrayed them. Their voice sharpens, their eyes go cold, and they're not trying to fix anything. They're trying to punish you. The worst mistake? Trying to argue back with logic. Logic doesn't exist when their ego's bleeding. You protect yourself, create space, leave if you need to. Words escalate to holes in walls and bruises on faces real quick. Don't sit around waiting for it to pass. Safety first, pride second. Question from Caroline in Denver, Colorado. My husband slapped me once, then cried all night apologizing. What should I do? The first slap is the most dangerous because it breaks the barrier. Once that line is crossed, it's easier to cross again. Tears and apologies are proof of change. They're proof of guilt and fear. Real change comes of counseling, accountability, and long-term effort. If you stay without demanding change, that slap becomes 2, then 3. I've seen women believe he's sorry, only to call me years later from a hospital day. Love doesn't fix violence. Only he can fix himself, and most don't. Protect yourself, and don't gamble with your life on his tears. Question from Hans in Straubing, Germany. A firm says I have inheritance if I pay them 10%. Do I pay? No, you don't pay them. That's a paper hustle. Real inheritance comes through courts or government offices, not random firms. If money is truly yours, you'll be contacted officially or can find it yourself on state unclaimed property websites. These scams feed on hope. They dangle free money, then rob you blind when you hand over fees or personal info. Guard your pockets and your identity. Real money don't need middlemen hustlers to reach you. Question from Jamal in Atlanta, Georgia. How do I make money in IPOs? IPO stands for Initial Public Offering. That's when a private company first sells stock to the public. It's like the company finally opening its doors after years of only letting insiders eat. That's when regular folks can buy in. Sounds sweet, right? But here's the catch. By the time IPO day comes, the insiders are already cashed in. Most IPOs spike with hype, then dip hard when reality sets in. You can make money, but you need strategy. Research the company. Do they make profit? Or are they hype like we work? Don't always buy day one. Sometimes waiting pays better. And always have an exit plan. I made money in an IPO when I treated it like chess, not scratch-offs. Bought in smart, sold quick, walked away with profit. I lost money when I held too long out of greed. The lesson? Greed robs you faster than the streets ever could. Question from Amina in Nairobi, Kenya. I took my 12-year-old's bed for bad grades. Now he won't talk to me. What's wrong with him? Nothing's wrong with him. Everything's wrong with their punishment. A bed is safety, not a privilege. You didn't just punish him, you stripped away security. That's why he's quiet and running to his mother. He doesn't see you as guidance. He sees you as the enemy. Discipline should correct, not destroy. If he's slipping in grades, address the problem. Study time, tutoring, accountability. Don't break his spirit. The fix now? Humble yourself. Apologize, own your mistake, and rebuild trust. That's how you teach him accountability, by showing it yourself. Question from Teresa in Lisbon, Portugal. I want a loving man. What should I do? First, be clear on what loving means. Too many confuse attention with affection, or gifts with love. A loving man shows up consistently, protects your peace, and invests in your growth as much as his own. Second, raise your standards. If he's disrespectful, inconsistent, or selfish, and you still entertain him, you're blocking the real thing. A loving man can't get to you if you're busy with toxic placeholders. Love ain't begged for, it's required. Question from Miriam in Cairo, Egypt. My husband abuses me and my parents in front of me. I have a 1-year-old. What do I do? That ain't just disrespect, it's abuse, and it won't stop by itself. The boldness tells you he doesn't value you or your family. And worse, your baby's soaking it all in. That child is learning love equals humiliation. Your first move is safety. Reach out to someone you trust, light up a place to go, and don't rely on promises or apologies. Abusers rarely change. Your baby needs a strong, safe mother more than a household with a toxic father. Don't let abuse be your child's blueprint for love. Question from David in Union City, California. What should someone know before calling law enforcement in a narcissistic relationship? Involving the law as war. First rule, document everything. Texts, calls, dates, witnesses. Narcissists flip the script fast and paint you as the villain. Paper trails save you. Second, don't warn them. If they know you're calling, they'll love bomb or smear you first. Move quietly. Third, plan safety. Have somewhere to go. And expect retaliation. They'll smear your name, twist stories, and maybe file false reports. Be calm, consistent, and loaded with facts. That's how you win. Question from Patrick in Dublin, Ireland. Why is it so hard for men to leave abusive or dead marriages? Because society doesn't believe men can be victims. A man says his wife is abusive, and people laugh. The legal system leans against him. Custody, divorce. Even cops often side with her. That traps men in silence. Add in shame. Men don't want to look like failures or lose daily time with kids. They stay chained even when the marriage is dead. But staying kills the spirit. My advice, document, plan, and move smart. Hard don't mean impossible, but you gotta play chess. Question from Keiko in Osaka, Japan. What's the first thing to do if you suspect you're in a narcissistic relationship? The very first step? Believe yourself. That voice inside saying something's off, don't silence it. Narcissists thrive on gaslighting, making you doubt your own reality. Step 1 is trusting your gut. Then educate yourself. Learn the playbook. Love bombing, devaluing, rage, repeat. Start documenting quietly. Don't confront too soon. Once they know you're onto them, the mask slips and retaliation begins. Knowledge, evidence, and a plan, that's your foundation for freedom. Here's your co-pull of the week. Never confuse apologies with accountability. Apologies are words. Accountability is action. If their actions don't change, Their words don't mean shit. Spotlight this week goes to listeners from Vienna, Houston, Milan, Kolkata, Toronto, Accra, Denver, Straubing, Atlanta, Nairobi, Lisbon, Cairo, Mountain View, Dublin, Osaka. Shout outs to everyone rocking the merch. Keisha in Houston with the cap, May from Tokyo in the hoodie, Marcus from London with the tour jacket. Keep sending in your pics for the Your Post page. That's it for this week's special edition of Let Me Pull Your Coat. Remember, check out letmepullyourcoat.com for our blogs, your reviews, videos, and a shop. Leave your voicemails, send your questions, and rep the movement. Until next time, respect yourself, demand loyalty, and never ignore that inner voice that says, "This ain't right." For China Doll, this is Master Silk. We wish you much love and much respect.